Alright guys, what I've got here, this is what I feed everything. I say everything, that's what I feed the other two horses that we use. This is 14% High Stepper by Stillwater Milling Company out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. They've got, I think they've got 3 or 4, maybe 5 stores in Oklahoma, different stores. I worked for one in Davis for about 5 years, so I've been around Stillwater Milling my entire life. They've been down there my entire life. But it shows on our bags, which I'll show you, the feed rates to feed this feed. And this is kind of how I go about it. It says for, right along in here, light horse work, riding, driving, racing. That's what we would be. 900 to 1,400 pounds. That's the size of horses that we have. We don't hard use, medium use. We kind of light use, but somewhere between light and heavy use. It is 3/4 to a pound or 2/5 to a half a pound. So just say a pound of A&M high stepper pellets and 1 to 1 1/4 pounds of hay per 100 pounds of body weight. So I give those horses light use, say a half a pound. I give those horses, I don't know how many pounds I give them, but I give them 6 quarts, I think, or 8 quarts. I give them 2 of these big scoops once a day and they stay fleshy on it. So whatever that comes out to, I think this is the one I've been using, and then grass hay, which I don't give grass hay so much right now. I give just the grass that they get. We do put grass hay out in the wintertime for them. I've got 20 bales of sprayed native hay sitting out there from last year, still wrapped, and there's nothing wrong with that hay. I'll feed it this year. But we may give them a little Bermuda grass hay. I think there was some Bermuda grass mixed in with that last year because we cut some at my mom's place and it didn't make very many bales, but it made some pretty good Bermuda hay. And I brought that home, and I think there's some of that left. And if I was feeding these horses, buying hay, I would prefer to buy Bermuda grass hay for them because I just think it's better hay. And I would prefer to feed it in the square bale, small square bale, because I would feed them my theory on these horses is a half a bale to a horse per day of hay is plenty of hay for a horse. Maybe a little bit more hay than what they're supposed to have. But according to this sack of feed, feed-wise, I'm feeding them just right. And on hay, we give them free choice hay because I give them in a round bale, and I have a round bale feeder out there, and that's what we've always done. I haven't always had a round bale feeder, but I bought one of those last year because they were wasting so much hay. I just prefer to know what they're eating, and I know what they're eating if I'm hand feeding them. So, like I said, if I was going to do this and buying the hay, which in a sense, I guess I am buying the hay. If I did square bale little hay and had a place to put it, which I do in here, but I really don't want to put hay in here if I don't have to. But if I did put some hay in here, I would try to start feeding square bales about probably October. Just figure you're going to feed them all of October. October, November, December, January, February, so 5 months. So just figure 30 days to the month. And I know that's not correct, so don't beat me up. But figure 150 days. You need to feed a horse. I've got 2 horses, so if I took a bale a day, I'd need 150 bales, square bales. And that's kind of the number that I would base it off of if I was buying hay. Like I said, some of you horse people on here, you may know more about that than I do, but that's just where my mind goes on weight, what a bale of hay weighs, what a horse should get per day. I'm in the firm belief that a horse should get about 25 pounds of hay a day a piece. That's plenty of hay, and that would be pretty close. Somewhere between 25 and 30 pounds a day would be a half a bale. So in our area. So that's how I would figure that. And then, I know a lot of people, they'll feed just straight alfalfa hay to a horse and some grass hay. And that's their protein. They don't feed. They just feed grass, which, that's probably a really good idea too. There's alfalfa around here, but alfalfa is pretty pricey. And I don't know how much alfalfa I would feed a horse per horse. I would guess 2 flakes, maybe about that much hay out of a bale would be my guess, plus a half a bale of grass. And if you did that, on 150 days, you might get by with about 75 bales of alfalfa would probably do that in 150 days for 2 horses for what I'm doing. And it's an idea. I know with alfalfa, that's a lot of protein, and I've heard of horses getting pretty hot, getting kind of hard to handle on alfalfa. So that's another reason I don't do that. But like I say, I don't know. I just wanted to make this video for you guys and kind of show you what we're feeding this A&M feed. And then I'm also feeding this older horse. She's getting this. This is 14. She's getting A&M Genuine Equine Silver Choice pellets. It's 14%. Let me see. Let me find a tag here of one of these other ones that we can compare. I don't see any tags on these because it's just in the bag. But we'll look at this label as well. Like I say, I would go off the senior horses because we're not using this horse at all. She may get rode every once in a while for that. There's a girl that comes over and rides, but she doesn't get rode very often. Quarter to a pound of Silver Choice per 100 pounds of body weight, and quantity hay, and a quantity of hay in the same weight range. So hay and or pasture. She's got a ton of pasture out there, but she didn't have any teeth, so she can't eat grass. She can waller it around her in the mouth and spit it out, and I guess she gets something out of that because she's been doing that a long time. We did have her teeth floated within the last month or so, and that's a video that you guys will see. That was very interesting to listen to the guy about the horse dentist, about their teeth, the reasons, and we've actually changed the way that we feed our horses. You know, he says be sure and feed off of the ground. So we feed in tubs and buckets down low on the horses out front. Blue Eyes, we have to put her in that trough with that bucket because she makes such a mess, and she'll never get it all eat if she doesn't have something to catch it. We've fed on the ground because he said one of the things that you'll see in the video, he says a horse, you know, is always looking for predators. So if a horse is eating off the ground, which is natural grazing, when they pick their head up to look for predators, it makes their teeth, their backs of their teeth, it makes them rub like that, and it keeps the hooks off the backs of their teeth, the back teeth. They grow hooks, and I don't know exactly. I've felt them with my hand, but I don't know exactly what that really means. But it's the growth of the tooth on the back side, but it like smooths them, it saws them all the time, so it keeps that all broke down, that extra calcium, I guess, whatever a tooth's made out of. So if you feed them on the ground, when they stand up, it makes their jaw rotate. So we learned that. I did not know that. And I believe what he's saying because that's what the guy does for a living. And just little things like that. And he let us actually stick her hand off in, I think it was in her mouth, because he was showing me she didn't have no teeth. It's an interesting video, and we intend to show you guys that. It's in our lineup on our reels. As of right now, I've got the horse dentist videos. It's pretty neat. It really is pretty neat. But we've got several reels lined up. I know I counted last night the things that I have ready to be finished. I have five reels ready to be finished, and I have one I'm working on, and then we've got about 8 or 9, possibly 10 that you've never seen, and that'll take us 5 weeks to get those out. So, and plus I'm making more right now for you guys to see. Polycart here. I think I can put about 800 pounds in that. No, 800. I'm lying to you. Not 800. I can put 8 sacks. I actually probably put 10. 450 easy in this thing. And that 450 pounds, the way we're feeding right now, don't tell Charlie, but when Charlie's gone to college, I feed a little bit more than she does. She thinks one horse is fat, which the horse is fat, and she wants to cut that one back, and she wants to cut the other one back because don't want him to have quite 2 scoops. And when I'm here during the week, they get 2 scoops each. Now, if it looks like they're getting too much feed, I'll cut them back because I'm the one paying for the feed. So, you know, it's costing me money to feed them. So, but if I want to feed them 2 scoops, I'm going to feed them 2 scoops. Scoop and a half is probably plenty. Once a day, I just feed once a day. And you can see the horses, they are not underfed. So. There is a way to open these bags of feed. You can pull that string on the end, and when you do, you can figure it out. I'll scoot you over here because you won't be able to see me if I don't. Okay, on this bag of feed, there is a way on this bag. It's the way it's sewn. It's the way it's went through the bagging system. That's not the end you want to pull because it won't come easy. On this end, it'll be easier to pull like that. And you can grab that string. If I get a hold of the right one, you can actually grab that string and you can pull it right there and it'll unsew. So a lot of people open up a bag of feed like that. I don't typically do that. I just grab the ear and rip it because I'm not going to do anything with these sacks anyway. But if a person's going to save these sacks and do something with it, that's an easy way to not damage the sack any more than the sewing machine did by poking a little hole in it. But little tidbit of information for you guys. Ear and tail. I'm telling you, this barrel right there. Now, you can look at the end of the sack. See, the only damage to that sack is the hole that's put in the sack. So, like I said, if you're going to reuse those for things, I have in the past, haven't done it in several years, but you can take these bags, or you can take brown paper sacks, grocery sacks, and you can, like these are double line bags, you can actually pull the outer line off the inner line. See, in here, there's a whole other bag inside there. You can pull that out and you can rip this up in little pieces and you can put, it's glue. I forget what kind of glue it is, but you can dip that in that glue and let it soak and pull them out, and you can actually put that on sheetrock walls and then come back and put, I call it shellac, but put a weatherproof finish over it, and it kind of shines it up, but it makes the wall look like leather. A lot of people used to do that. It's a neat wall covering. I don't have any in my house now, but I had some in the house before this one that we did. We did a room with 2 walls in there, and it's messy to do it, but it's really neat. It's really neat looking. So if I ever do that in my house, this one, I'll show you guys that technique. But some of you guys on here may have done that before, but you can take I can't remember the kind of glue, but if I think of it before I make this video, I'll tell you about it. But anyway, it's white, it's just liquid, and you just stick it in there and you let it soak, and you pull it out, and it's nasty, but then you just rub it on the wall like that. You grab the next one, you put them every which way. You just keep growing as you're going, and it makes a really neat wall. But that's a use for these sacks. Some people, I don't like to say, they may put pecans in these, or they may put, I don't know, anything in them. They need them for something, but that's the only reason I could see them not damaging the end of the bag when they do that, because I don't know what a bag costs, but it's probably 50 cents to have it bagged. So all right, it's a hodgepodge, guys, but hey man, you do what you got to do when you got to do it. You know what I mean? I'll probably just pour that in there, guys. I don't know why I can't. Now, I'm not going to reuse this bag for anything, but I don't know if you've ever tore one of these type of bags, but it's not easy. So I'll do it the easy way. I wondered about what that stuff would look like. That is beet pulp. Like I said, guys, we are learning. It looks like beet pulp shreds. It kind of looks like pecan hulls to me. If I show it to you. Right there, guys. But you're supposed to soak that in water, and that's supposed to be real good for them. So that's just something we're going to try. Got to do something, and I don't really know what that even cost. That whole, I do know those 8 bags of feed, that bag of alfalfa cubes, and that bag of beet pulp cost $130. That'll give you any kind of a reference. And I could go, I think that 14 high steppers like $15 a bag roughly. And if I buy 8 bags, it's 120 bucks. I can go 2 weeks. I can go 14 days. I used to could go 14 days on 3 horses. So yeah, you do the math on that. I don't know what that is. Well, 120 and 14, it's about $9 a day. So 9 something. That's what it costs to feed 3 horses. So about $3 a day. Now with this special feed here, I don't know and don't care because I'm trying to take care of that horse. But it'll cost, it'll be more to do it this way. This feed, this senior feed, it's about 16 something a bag, so it's about $1 higher. It's probably got more alfalfa in it or something. I don't know what's the difference in it, but like I said, I'm gonna feed probably 2 scoops of this, basically a scoop of this, and then I don't know how much of this. I've got to figure that out. It says dry feed as is or mixed with other feed ingredients. Wet feed, add at least 2 parts water to 1 part shreds. Soak beet pulp shreds for at least 1 hour. Add additional water if beet pulp is not soft throughout. I'm gonna get a scoop of that and put it in the bucket right now, and I'm gonna let it soak, and then Charlie can feed it here in a little while. But I'm gonna put, like I said, I'm gonna put that in the bucket and see what happens. So I'll show you guys that too. This concrete right here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I don't know if I've told you guys about that before, but you know, my son Dylan, he had pigs, show pigs, and I had them in the dirt in here on one set, and I didn't really like it, so I came in, and me and my nephew Bryson, you've seen in some of my hay videos, he helped me, and we poured this little slab, and I put 2 pig pens, which I have outside. I welded square tubing together and made a pen that sets in here, and I fed out 2 show hogs in here. That's why this concrete's in here. I wish this whole floor was concrete, and I intend to do that one of these days when I can afford it. And I'm sure you guys will get to see that video. But I need to turn this into a concrete floor and box it in more, this part of it, and I can work on things out here because we do a lot of farm mechanicing and stuff that I'm sure you guys will get to see. My brother has a shop now, but I need one over here as well. Just need to clean this place up again. Like I say, get some concrete. I need some money. If I get some money, if I win some money, come turn into some money here for long, I'm gonna turn it into projects. So I might even build another shop. I may leave this one alone, leave it a barn, and build me another one like these, about this size. Just have it built up there closer to the house. I'm hoping that maybe my content reaches more people and we start growing, you know. And I can afford to do some things around here maybe someday. But like I said, I've been doing this more or less just to document what I'm doing on our business and my life, so my grandkids can know who I am. You know, it's important to me. But if it'll turn around and make a little bit of money where I can do a few more projects, that'd be awesome too. So, but anyway, you guys keep liking and subscribing, and I know you will. There are some people out there. I'm gonna name off one person that I can think of named Sue, and I don't remember all of it, but Sue, if you're listening, I'm seeing you. And I want to say I had mentioned something on another live the other night, and I think Sue, I think you're the one that reached out, and I appreciate you reaching out to me. I didn't have any intention of breaking in on their live and saying anything, but to get any of you guys' attention, that wasn't my intention. But I saw you. I just want you to know I saw you, but I couldn't respond back because I didn't want to. I'm not going to overtake anything like that. I wouldn't overtook it anyway, but I'm not that way. I was just letting Brandon know. Whoops, yeah. I was just letting Eddie Family Farm. I was watching them, and that's where it was. And I was letting him know that I lost him, and I don't live just a few miles from him. So just wanted him to know that he had went off air with me, and it was me or him, and everything else on my phone worked. So I would say it was him, and that was the reasoning behind that. But Sue, if that's your name, and I think it was, I hear you. There's several on there. I had a guy on there a while ago. I was at the feed store and I happened to check it. And I'm not going to call him out by name, but I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's trying to be funny or if he was serious and he's got the wrong person. But he was looking for some kind of fishing pole, and he wanted it back. And I'm like, I have no idea what he meant by that, and I have no idea who he is. And like I told him, I don't think I've wet a fishing hook. I don't believe I've wet a fishing hook in 30 years, so there's no way I have his Cast King rod or whatever. He got the wrong Okie sharecropper. What are you barking at? That's just somebody across the street. I hope. See what they're doing. Maybe they're not gonna throw trash in my trash can. I hope. No, I think they're gonna go see my neighbor. Don't know who that is. But anyway, the dog always barks when he sees somebody down the driveway. Back to that fishing pole story. Man, I'm sorry. You've got mistaken identity here. Number one, I wouldn't steal your fishing pole. Number two, I hadn't fished in 30 years, so I don't know who you are. I looked at your deal and I didn't know who you was. So anyway, I'm sure people that do this like I'm doing now, they get this all the time, things like that. And maybe it started happening to me. So comment away, whatever. So at any rate, guys, like I said, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out my videos. I told you in the start of this that there'll be a variety of videos, different things. It's not all baling hay. It's all kind of farm related, most of it, but you'll see us doing a lot of things. So until I see you next time, you guys stay safe.